Hello and welcome back to the channel. So you currently join me from my front room, complete with Puddy Cat. And yeah, I'm just quickly getting ready to go to Weeting Heath, Norfolk Wildlife Trust. So the reason I'm heading there is because it's finally open after a winter of being closed, and the reason Weeting Heath is so popular is because of a very rare bird called the Stone Curlew. Now the Stone Curlew can only nest in certain areas, and I think there's only about 300 pairs in the whole of the UK, and Norfolk Wildlife Trust Weeting Heath has been sort of massively involved in the conservation. And they're a really strange looking bird. As it's only 15 minutes away to get there, I've decided, you know, the whole spirit of photographing what's on your doorstep, I've decided to head down there. So what I need to do is stop stroking my Puddy Cat and get down there. Please excuse the horrendous overexposure on my face, but this hide is pretty much pitch black and the sun's just streaming in through this small gap. It's really windy today, and I was advised by the chap at the visitor centre that the curlews have been hunkered down, which makes sense, it's really windy today. So yeah, probably not the best because the wind's blowing directly towards me. But yeah, we're now in the west tide. Now I'm not entirely sure if this exposure's horrendous. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it was a stone curlew, but I definitely saw what looked like a curlew and filmed that. Hopefully I'll be able to punch in, filming in 4K, and confirm whether that was a stone curlew. I actually bought my binoculars for a change, so that's good. So yeah, it's just a case of seeing I see the curlew, but this wind is unreal. So everyone that's made their way to the hide has left pretty quickly because the wind is horrid. It's really cold wind as well. And yeah, aside from some lapwings, rabbits, muntjacs, we've not really seen anything since my first potential sighting of the curlew. Although, like I said, it could just be a normal curlew and not a stone curlew. But because I'm stubborn, I'm gonna stay and grizz it out. I mean, I paid £4. Well, it was definitely a bad idea of mine to not check the weather forecast, because I'm now in the photography hide, which can be really nice in the summertime. Unfortunately, a lot of leaves have fallen into the pond, making it pretty unphotogenic. But for some reason, probably because of the wind, most of the little birds don't seem to be here. And the main reason I'm here is because work decided to steal a day off from me. I've just come off of night shifts, and work decided that I needed to do a risk assessment course. So yeah, that's 8 hours of my day gone tomorrow when I'm feeling a bit under the weather as well, due to a risk assessment course. So yeah, that'll be fun. The birds are actually coming out now. So I've been at the photography station for about an hour now, and what I kind of like about my own photography is just how excited I can get over small things. Now, I've never actually photographed a nuthatch before, and it sort of just fills me with excitement still. The thing is, a lot of people might say it's just a small bird, but aren't we all just small people on a rather large planet? Who knows? We've evolved into this complex species. Who's to say that that nuthatch might evolve and its family will continue and evolving, and who knows, maybe a nuthatch will get us off this planet. You can't really say. Life is all as equally as important as each other. All life's just as important. And yeah, I like getting excited over things still, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I think the plan now is to go back on the hunt for the curlew. It's not the best weather today. Oh, the nuthatch was just on the nut feeder, hence nuthatch. And yeah, go back on the search for the curlew at the west tide. Apparently there were 7 seen earlier today. And if no joy, then head to the east side, to the east side, to the east side massive. Yeah, no, head to the east hide and see if there's any luck there. But to be fair, I'm happy with just seeing the nuthatch today, if I'm honest. Before I head off to the west side, just one little thing that I thought I'd share, and it's that obviously when I came to this sort of bird photography or feeding station, there weren't really any birds about, which it makes sense. The birds will see you coming, and then over sort of a period of about an hour, they all slowly started coming out. So I see a mistake a lot of people make is, you know, they'll go somewhere, not see anything, spend 5 minutes there, and then just give up. You really got to give it time. You know, I'd say it's the weapon of the wildlife photographer, is time. But it's also, yeah, for us non-professionals, it's also the bane. So yeah, let's head off back to the west side. So the irony is, I've come to see Stone Curlews. The conditions are dreadful. And the irony is, there are curlews, just not Stone Curlews. Although I did manage to get some footage courtesy of a gentleman that spotted them for me. So yeah, probably the worst day's hide photography I've had in a long while. It's so windy, so windy. So then I made my way to the east tide, but unfortunately it was just as windy there. So I ended up going back to the van and then took shelter in there. So I'm now back in the van. Slightly frustrating that I only really saw a glance of the Stone Curlews, but the problem is you can't predict the weather, and you certainly can't predict or fit that sometimes around life. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we didn't really didn't get any photos of the Stone Curlews. But it was nice to get my first shots of a stonehatch, so we should definitely take the wins when they come. And yeah, it's nice to know that obviously the Stone Curlews are definitely here. Like I said, there was 7 spotted earlier on. And yeah, I'll definitely be back when it's sort of a bit closer to summer. It just seems to be a recurring theme this year so far. A lot of I've gone out probably more in the last sort of 2-3 months than I have in the last 2 years.
and I've not really had the results to match that. But it is what it is, and you know, no matter what it is that I'm photographing, when I do get those results, it just makes it, it'll make it all the more rewarding. But yeah, I've decided to, it's just started to rain, I've decided to call it a day. I'm not feeling amazing, and I have obviously got my amazing risk assessment course to do at work, because obviously, you know, the UK climate is very, very risky, and you need to manage that risk. So yeah, which is what I'm doing now. As I'm 40 years old, I am going to eat some hot chicken flavour ramen in my van, then get some potatoes for the wife and head home. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this not too interesting video, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Take care.